What's up, everybody? This is season 2, episode 16 of the Golden Boys podcast. I got my dear friend Shawn Short from Knoxville Screenprinting. He came up to spend a few days and hang out with me. What's up, my man?
What's up, buddy? Thanks for having me.
Dude, thanks for coming, man. It's been freaking pretty sweet day already. Just you guys got in town. We went out to lunch. That was sweet. Good
Awesome Mexican restaurant.
Oh, dude. Blue Cactus, baby. I'm sorry I didn't invite you, Jared.
Oh, yeah, I'm here too, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't intro the guy that's literally running everything, setting everything up.
Hey, man, you said that I wasn't. What was the thing you said earlier? You're like, man, got this professional over here.
No, he called you a natural in front of the camera.
Natural, camera natural.
And Jared goes, ha! I was like, oh, my. Right.
Listen, we all have our jobs, and my job is to make you look good.
Hey, man, you're doing a really good job, man.
Stellar.
That's what I'm talking about.
But, yeah, so we had some Mexican food. That was awesome. And then, yeah, we just been walking over the auto shop and just, it's been really cool because I've been literally taking you through, like, you know, every one of our steps of how we do a job just to show you what it, you know, what it's like to run a job over here at Golden Press. But enough about that. Tell us a little bit about you and your shop, man. Just what type of building do you have as a print shop?
A two-car garage.
That's right, baby.
A Whopper.
Freaking, I miss those days some days.
I can't wait to get out of it.
However, I had a manual press in a 2-car garage.
Yep.
You want to tell them what you have?
Yeah, I got the Anatol Volt 87.
Right on. Freaking automatic press in your garage. Don't stop there. I know all this stuff, but see, what is it? An embroidery machine?
Yeah, we got embroidery, DTG. We got rolling printer for stickers. Laser engraving. What else?
Hat press.
Where?
Hat press.
Where?
Dude, it's strategic because my wife is so smart. She mathematically kind of like set it all up to where it's just like a, I don't know, the auto is in the middle almost, kind of off to the side. You walk around that to the mixing system where there's a vinyl cutter there. And then you keep going and there's the rolling. And you keep coming around this way, there's the conveyor dryer. And there's like the exposure unit and all that here. And then the embroidery machine, DTG, and pre-treat. So
We're gonna need
merry-go-round.
We're gonna need you have to take your phone and give me some.
Oh, I will.
Make sure it's horizontal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, so once he moves into a shop, we're gonna make a trip down there and freaking
Before and
help.
after.
Yeah, that'd just be. I've seen some videos and some photos, but I don't think it does justice. So
no, it's nope.
That's crazy. Kelly was saying earlier that like you guys can't walk past each other at the same time.
No, you might get ink on you.
Yeah, ink on you or.
in the garage or just okay, yeah.
Yep.
So is everything in the garage?
Yep, every bit of it, everything.
What's
How?
And there's like in my, it's not even 500 square feet. So in how I have my screens is it's like a cubby hole in the garage, and I have my screen rack in there, and there's like this black curtain that holds it all. But it works. I mean, it's
It's quite impressive.
It's
so you've been so how long have you had? So you had a brown automatic in there, right?
Yeah.
But how long have you had an automatic in your garage?
In this garage, 2 years, almost 2 years.
Freaking insane.
And it was, we had the manual. We had what were we running? The Riley Hopkins 4-station color.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just crazy. Cool little fun fact about Shawn is that Jared and I, we actually met them out at an open house, and just got to talking. He came up and told us that he watches our YouTube videos and listens to podcasts and all that stuff. And then
Can I actually cut you off?
Yeah.
So actually what had happened is
I just love it how Jerry corrects me.
you're correct, but I have more to that story.
Yes.
So I was filming at that open house. We were
Correct.
filming some things, just getting some footage, and I wanted to get some crowd footage.
Yeah.
And you and your wife both kept making eye contact with the camera and looking at me and kept like whispering to each other and stuff. And I was like, and like kind of like
Seriously?
felt like you were me mugging a little bit.
Right,
I'm
really?
like, a little bit. But and it was just my interpretation.
Right,
But
right, right.
I went to Jonathan. I was like,
Who is this cat?
dude, this guy's like pissed that I'm like filming him and like.
Oh
I'm
my
trying.
God.
I mean, I got to get shots though. So literally, while we're here, I don't know what else to do. And then like not even 10 minutes later, you came up. You're like, "Hey, dude, what's up? We watch all your videos." I was
Yep.
I was like, "No, I'm the idiot. Yeah, I'm the one misreading everything."
You know what's funny is I totally forgot that was him.
Yeah,
I was the guy.
Yeah.
Well, we were probably saying, I was probably telling her, I was like, hey, that's so and so, and
Right,
this is
right.
this. Yeah.
seeing in my mind I'm over here like, dude, sorry, I'm doing my job, man.
Well, that's
like,
the society we live in.
exactly.
You know?
So my bad for instantly judging you.
That's hilarious, man. That's a good story. I like that.
So there you go. That's the first thing that happened.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
funny.
And then Jared came up to me after that. He's like, "Hey, you gotta go talk to this guy. He's been following along our journey, which is something for us. It's when you put the time and effort into what we do, it's kind of it's kind of lonely in the aspect of it's just me and my team.
Yeah, yeah.
We're filming these things, trying to help people out with screen printing design, just inviting people into our life, and it's just like, does anyone really care?
Oh, yeah, man.
You know, like,
Oh, yeah.
are we doing this just because we think it's cool, and that's fine, you know, but like we want to help people and impact people's lives. And Jared's like, dude, you gotta go talk to him. This dude freaking loves what we do. And I was like, oh man,
Absolutely.
It's such a rare thing for us to get to always like meet people in person. Like we don't, you know, the different people that we've connected with online. A lot of times, I mean, like sometimes there's a face attached to it,
Yep.
but not always, right? And so like it's difficult for us to sometimes like feel that super close connection like we want to. We try to connect with people as much as we can.
Yep.
So whenever we started going more to like trade shows and these open house events and stuff that we were going to, like that was really cool for us to get to like meet people and put like faces and personalities to the screen names, you know?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, like, you know, for this was the funny thing. So I don't, I was at the SGIA back in like 2017. So that was the first time, because in Knoxville, there's a lot of shops, but it's the old school mentality of when you go to talk to people, it's secret, man. They're top secret. You know, you can't, you don't know their process. So a buddy of mine owns Rival Screen Printing in Sevierville. Him and I are buddies, and I'm not trying to steal because I have my own niche. You know, he has his niche, and we're not in competition, so we share.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I just happened to be looking through some emails, and it was in my junk folder, and it was about the open house. And I was like, an open house? What is this? You know, because I know how people act with, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, I told my wife, I was like, hey, check this out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to call this guy. So it was Jeremy.
Yeah.
I called Jeremy. I'm like, hey, man, you know, I know this is kind of sounding weird, but I'm reaching out because what's going on with this? And he said, you guys are going to be there. I told Kelly, I was like, we got to go. Like, this is going to be cool because,
That's what's up.
you know, like when you're printing and you're in a garage and you know, you want to move to that next step or whatever circumstances are there. We watch you make your steps and what you guys have done. And I've watched, I mean, I have a TV right across the auto. So like while I'm printing, I'm watching.
How does he fit the TV
And,
in there?
yeah. Well,
For
it's,
real, though.
it's actually on a thing, comes out of the wall, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, you know, and then so it's motivation.
Yeah.
So like it's cool being able to, like, I have my own playlist for you guys, like
that's
what I want to
awesome.
see, you know. So it's stuff like that. So when we went to that show, it was surreal because there you guys are, and like I've met, you know, you meet celebrities, you meet people that are, you know, in the limelight.
Yeah.
And you guys were so cool. Like, I felt like I've known you forever.
Yeah.
And that's what I was telling her. We talked about it the whole way back home, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was cool, man. To actually see the guys. You know what I mean?
We appreciate that, man, because like for us it's just like we know we're all a bunch of nerds, like you know, and so like whenever we meet people and stuff and we get to like hang out and stuff and get that like that connection and you know where it feels like, hey, we've been friends for a while, like it's an instant chemistry type thing. That's always really cool for us too, because you know we're always just like, hey man, I may not be as cool as you think. You know what I mean?
I keep on telling Shawn, hey man, I put my underwear on just the same same way as you do.
Right.
2 feet at a time. Let's go. You know, but yeah, just a normal dude. But again, we acknowledge that, you know, hey, when you create something that hopefully people want to follow along, it's a part of it. And I mean, it's still a really good feeling when we go to trade shows and people are like, man, hey guys, thanks for doing that. You know, thanks for making that video. Thanks for helping us out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's always really cool. Well, the funny thing is for you, like your situation, was it one of those deals to where we like DM back and forth online, right? You just like, hey, I like these guys. I like what they do. Hey, open house, I'm going to go to it. And then from that moment on, I think I gave you my cell phone number, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, man, just hit me up. You know, you have any questions? Like, and to me, that's just so natural. It's like, hey, let's connect. And to you, you know, now that we've talked and been friends for, you know, quite a while, it's just, like, that was just really freaking. It's like, hey man, I'm just a regular dude, want to connect with other homies and help each other out, you know. So
and then you were laughing because I was like, what I say, like, I had called you 3 different times and he answered each time. I was like, hey man, you gotta stop answering your phone because you're making me feel important. Because you're like answering my calls.
This guy loves being on the phone. Every time we try to film a freaking video, he's on the phone.
He's on the phone. Popular guy.
He's a busy lady, you know.
busy lady. I said that one day.
Yeah,
that's why they said it.
I don't remember even what you were talking about, but the way you said it was the funniest thing. And then me and Corey were just cracking up. And then since then, anytime Jonathan's running around, like, he's a busy lady.
Busy lady.
That's awesome.
But yeah, just from that open house, we just got numbers. You gave me a few calls, had a few questions.
Yep.
And then, dude, I remember I was in the alleyway over at the auto shop when you called me one day, and dude, I remember from that moment on, we talk weekly.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes
about what's going on, and
talking shop and trying to help each other's business out by just talking ideas and how to think outside of the box, or hey, have you thought of this perspective? So it's been cool, man.
Yeah, and you're like I feel like you're on the island I want to be on.
Yeah.
So like, even though I'm watching it from binoculars, really.
Yeah.
It's there. So like I was telling you before, you know, stuff like this motivates people. I mean, it motivated me to start a podcast. I want to do YouTube, and you make it possible.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It gives me, and everybody. So when you're having a rough day in your shop and you look around and there's hundreds of garage shops and they're, you look around and you're like, this sucks, man. I'm in a garage, dude. How? Because there are times when you're like, you know what? Or you get a new client and they're like, hey, can I come pick up my stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can actually drop it off to you because I don't want to check my house. But then, you get depressed by it and then you watch you guys. And it's like, dude, one day, that's where I'm going to be. So, and it's getting closer.
Yeah.
Things are happening. And
oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
No, you go.
No, you go.
Okay, fine.
Dang it. I'm going to go.
I heard a long time ago that the key to growth is always having having somebody close to you that is a little bit ahead of you, and somebody close to you that's a little behind you.
Yep. Yeah.
So you're always getting poured into and then pouring out into somebody else.
Yep.
And it's always the key to like moving up and like advancing in growth, whatever that goal is for you, right? Because everybody's goals are different, you know.
Yep.
And so like I've always liked that concept, of like, where do I want to be? Let me rub shoulders with those guys. And then I'm going to share my knowledge freely with somebody else who's a little bit behind me.
Yep.
Maybe you can avoid some of these headaches. Don't hit your head against the wall so many times. That type of thing.
Yeah, and you've done that, man.
Yeah.
And it's been stellar, dude. It's just the little things, like somebody's watching over for me to. Everything happens for a reason, like we talk 100 times. And it's like I just happen to see that email.
Yeah, man.
And then look at.
Yeah.
I was telling him when I come up here, it's like, dude, from YouTube to real life, bro, this is cool. Like I how many times have I seen videos in here? Like, this is surreal. It's cool.
It's dirty and unorganized as all get out.
I love it.
But it's all good. Yeah, man. It's been really cool, man. So for our relationship is, again, we just talk shop, we talk clients, we talk all that stuff. But what's I got to ask you, what's What's your other job that you do?
So I have a full-time job that I'm 3 years from retirement. So I'm law enforcement, and I'm a bomb technician.
Thank you for your service, man.
Thanks.
Appreciate it, bud.
Bomb technician.
Yeah.
That is the wildest thing. Like, I don't know how much you can talk about, but that is wild. Like, I mean, we talked about this at the open house, like, because I was like, my mind is blowing right now. Like, there's no way, like, because I can't imagine being the guy that, like, you know, you see it in the movies and stuff. Put the suit on, I'm walking up to the crazy looking device, whatever it is, all these wires and stuff. Like, that's like what you do.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
And like, that takes a special kind of person, man. Like,
It's cool, man. I mean, you know, I think the out of all the movies you see, you know, you just kind of, that's the bad part about it, because I see a movie and they do some stuff and it's for Hollywood, you know, and you're just like,
sure.
No, that don't work that way. There's no colored wire. There's no, but the movie Hurt Locker, that's actually as close as it comes to that military side of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's different. You're in a position where I don't know what the numbers are now, but there's like 2,800 in the U.S. only. So you figure the amount of people in the U.S. the government only allows so many, and then it's such a process. It's a couple of years just to vest. So they go back and they, you know, it's clearance stuff. So they go all the way back, man. They were talking to people that I didn't think were still alive.
First grade.
Yeah,
teacher.
man. I'm like, man, she was like 90 when she was teaching me, bro. It was like, how long ago?
That's crazy.
Can you say that again? How many bomb techs in the? What'd you
It's
say?
like between 26 and 2,800
Only.
And you're one of them.
Yeah, it's you know, well, you know, there's a failure rate. It's kind of like going through, you know, the school is. So I was a fireman, paramedic a while ago, and I did that career for a while.
Yeah.
And in Michigan, and I would say paramedic school, fire school, and even the sheriff law enforcement academy.
Yeah.
All those put together wasn't nowhere near, and those are bad enough, man. I mean, those are tough, but that school there was insane.
No, imagine.
They basically put a big old binder in front of you about this big, and they're like, you're gonna learn this when you graduate. And I'm like, what? But when you're done, your brain hurts.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a 500 question test.
Jeez.
And it was like, you know, they're watching you. They're in all four corners of the room.
Yeah.
And they're looking to see if you're gonna cheat, look. I mean, it's stressful. But when you get done, they pin you have a bomb tech pin.
Yeah.
And the guy that was your successor, the guy that graduated before you, he comes and he pins it on you. When he pins it on you, those prongs go in your skin. So when you smack it, it's like a blood honor, I guess they call it.
Yeah.
But it was the coolest honor I ever had, because I was like, because it all started like everything else, somebody told me I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So the worst thing you can do to me is say, well, you can't do that. So like how the screen printing started was all because somebody told me I couldn't do it. They laughed at me, and I can't stand that. And then I went to a school it was in New Mexico, and they had a 500-pound car bomb go off, right? Then it's for post blast. It's it's for school. And there's this dude walking off, man, and there's like smoke, and he's all tacked out. And I was like, who is that? Like, who is that dude? And they're like, well, that's a bomb tech. And I was like, I want to do that. And the guy laughed at me. He's like, no, that's not going to happen. I was like, what? Okay, buddy, stand by. I'll be back. And then the next time around was the guy blowing the stuff up.
Dude, that's one of Shawn's key words. Stand by.
Yeah, stand by.
Just stand by. It cracks me up every time he says that.
Yeah, it's just like the shirt shop, man.
Dude,
you know, it's people think that, you know, just by the way, you know, I don't know what it was, but I went for some shirts for another business I had, and the guy, you know, I just didn't agree with what he was doing. Yeah, and I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be the cheapest in town, and you're charging me this much, and he's like, you know, kind of like the thing of, well, what are you going to do your own? And I was like, well, what does that take? You know, he's like, you can't do it. I was like, stand by.
Stand by.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's so funny how so many people have the same like experience getting started in this industry. I don't know that. I mean, there's a few people that maybe have started just because they were interested in it, but I think most people were like
something
had
drove
a
them.
terrible experience trying to do something for themselves, or they had a merch line or ordering shirts for a business or something, a band, whatever, and then they're like, wow, this guy doing my shirt sucked, and I bet I could do better. I mean, I don't know how many of those stories we've heard. It's crazy.
Yeah, 'cause you feel bad for people, man. Like, I think the biggest reward of the for me is, like, I had a guy, he had a landscaping company, he had no money. Like, I understand we all understand where to come from there.
Yeah.
And he's just wanting to get out there. And so I hooked him up. I did his artwork. I didn't charge him for his artwork. None. And man, when he come and picked up those shirts, and it was like his idea that literally started from a piece of paper on a napkin, where he was like crayoning it for me, and I'm trying to, his look on his face was so worth it. Yeah. And I was like, I think I finally found something. So so when I retire, I'm doing it now. I'm trying to get into this shop in May. So we can expand, because we're like a busted can of biscuits right now.
No, you got
I know it's a shock, but it's just, like, we had some shirts just a little while ago. It was a few thousand, and it was like like Kelly told you, the boxes were everywhere. Like, the poor kids were like, couldn't sit at the kitchen table because they're stacked everywhere.
Kelly showed me a photo. You got back from vacation.
Yeah, we went on a cruise. We come back. Dude, and
no, listen.
You couldn't see the front door, bro. I had to move boxes to get in the front door because it looked like Shaquille O'Neal stacked these boxes. Like, I don't know what the UPS guy used.
Yeah, no joke.
Yep. And she was like, seriously?
Yeah. And I was telling Shawn, I was like, yeah, dude. Like, it's really cool in, like, my position of looking at to where, like, I will talk to a majority of manual shops, and I coach a lot of manual shops. And because they saw our YouTube and they saw our transition from a manual to auto, their mind is just like, yeah, I think I need to get an auto, and I will talk them out of it. That, like, not to say, hey, I don't believe that's in your future. I'm not saying that.
Just gotta wait till you're ready.
Yeah,
because just as far as us and just being transparent is like, we had things we wanted to do, right? Like, as far as video stuff, and we wanted to shoot more videos, but we needed more time, and we're just going through this, and we've learned a lot since then, to where, like, guess what? Getting an auto didn't really make us a whole lot of time to be able to do more video. Actually, we had to just print more shirts, and we had to, like, there's all these things. But now, like, where our business is at is, like, we're in a really good spot as far as we're blending everything in extremely well, and we get to do all the things we love to do while making money, while printing thousands of shirts a month, while keeping up with our clientele. But we needed to make that. I wouldn't change anything, as far as the decisions we made. But now, like some of my top orders, like, I think my biggest order I did before we went to automatic was like 800 shirts. Like, and this cat, like, what'd you say?
Oh, it was 3,000 shirts on that station.
Yeah, like, that's just mind-blowing to me. But I knew, and I heard in the industry that as soon as you get the auto, the work is going to come. And obviously, the thing that we talk about the most, and the reason why we're in this business, is we're in service, right? We're providing a service. You, as a law enforcement, you're providing a service to protecting people, so you're good at it, right? And so if you're good at providing a service, it's only a matter of time that you're going to grow to where you have to start speeding things up. But a majority of the time, I will talk people out of making that transition to auto, because I just think there's a few other things you can do to get your business in a better position before you finance a press, or or you can put some money back so that you actually have a down payment on some equipment and all these different things. But I will tell you, my friend, you are ready for a space. You might be ready for a potential bigger press here fairly soon, but like, you've gotten every bit of dollar bill out of that square footage of that garage. And again, like, I would suggest to a lot of people, again, it all depends on their goals, their dreams, and what they want to do. But like, if you're just like, hey, I'm a manual shop and I want to grow this shop, and I don't want 20 employees. I want to keep it tight, like maybe 5 to 10. I would tell them, don't hire employees, get an auto and put it in your 2-car garage.
Absolutely.
And then I would say, then build up your clientele, keep that press spinning, work the amount of hours to where you want to tap out.
Yep.
And then I would say, all right, start hiring people. Start adding and building that team. Because, dude, you're already in the place to where the only thing you need is square footage.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and then we so when we first started, there was an apparel company. It was 50 Gear, and we used to print for them.
Yeah.
And I was like awed by because they had it going. Well, some stuff happened. They were up there with like Relentless Defender. I mean, they were neck and neck, and they were taking too much time off work, and so the business just kind of laid out. Well, my printing company got it big enough to where we made a deal with them, and we actually ended up acquiring it.
Dude,
so
awesome.
We have this apparel company with all this stuff. Like inventory it took a whole day to move.
Yeah. Tell them about like what's 50 Gear.
So 50 Gear is apparel for law enforcement, veterans, emergency services.
Awesome.
And it's a
good niche for you to get in, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good niche. It's a good niche for us, and it's super simple.
Yeah.
So now, like Kelly was saying, it's not going to grow. It's online right now.
Yeah.
And it's got a following. We do shows. We go to law enforcement shows, and it's growing. So like that on top of it, we have no choice, man. It's just like, and the struggle is real with that stress, because I can see in the horizon what's up there, and I'm just like, oh my God, I gotta get out of this. But it all starts with a manual, because there's things that happen on an auto. If you didn't know about a manual, it don't make sense to you,
Sure.
And that's how I got my press. Was the guys that had it went to a show, bought the press and everything brand new, had never ever screen printed in their life. So they got the auto and they were just like, what?
Yeah.
And so that's how I acquired it. Thank God.
Dude. Yeah. We don't have enough time in this podcast if we just kept on filming for like 3 days to let you know all the services that he provides. But yeah, dude, you need a bigger spot. But again, we were talking earlier that, man, dude, you're in such a good spot that because you think of expenses, like when you move into an auto shop, you're like, oh gosh, and he's like, I get it.
I grabbed my heart.
Yeah,
I could feel it coming.
Yeah, he's like, oh my gosh, I gotta pay rent.
Yep.
But it's just like the amount of shirts he does and the amount of volume. I'm like, hey man, I think there's enough. I think there's a little bit of profit in there for you to pay rent to be able to breathe.
Just scary.
Yeah, it's, dude, and I laugh and I'm goofing with you, but it's going from manual to auto was one of the most stressful periods of time in my life, hands down.
It's a beast.
It wasn't always fun around here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was some, and we've talked about it. I mean, it was high stress, whenever you have those moments, because it's the same kind of thought process of like, dude, are we going to have enough to cover everything?
Yep.
And when you first switch over, it's like, we didn't necessarily have the work to support it, yet. And so it was like, every auto shop that we talked to, we're like, it'll come. And we're like, freaking hurry up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, we're, 2.5-ish, 3-ish years now in this. And guess what? It's still hard. But
you make it look easy.
It's better than that first.
It's better than the, like, oh, wow. Yeah. I printed so many 30 shirt orders. Our minimum's 30 pieces.
Couple rotations.
If you didn't realize, that's Jordan, my press operator, he's like, hey dude, you really should change your minimum to 28 pieces, because that's exactly 2 rotations.
No, you bump it up to 3 rotations. Always go up.
Yeah, that's awesome that we make it look easy. It is very not easy. I tell everybody, and especially like people I coach, is that the heart, if being an entrepreneur or starting a business was easy, everyone would do it. Yeah, it's one of the hardest things I've ever done, and still is the hardest thing, because it's your business is all about seasons. You're like, ooh, that was a good season.
Yep.
Like, and yes, perspective is everything, but looking forward, like, yeah, I have to look at everything. Every season is good because it's teaching and all that. But like, dude, I remember the days where Jared and Corey like filmed we called it Instagram story banger of them going to get blizzards. And I come back because I was like doing something. And I came back and I'm like, this is freaking hilarious. And like, I would, like as the boss, like, hey, I'm paying these guys to goof around and do this video. Yep. They were laughing. I was laughing. Another video we did was the Squeegee flip. We just watched that the other day of like,
well, somebody did like a challenge, did like a Squeegee flip challenge, and then we were like, yeah, and then like it didn't really, nobody really did it after that or whatever. But we were like, oh, this will be fun, and we like went hard with it.
I literally threw a squeegee from down there, and the couch was set up over here,
right? And
Corey was sitting like this, and it was a Ergo Force squeegee, so a metal one.
Oh man!
And I threw it and flipped,
and he just had his hand held like this and caught it.
Holy crap!
Not looking at all.
For some reason, that one, like I found it on my hard drive, but it's not in like our archive on like
you
online.
You need to get that on there.
So I'll put some
greatest
of that in here in the
put it as the ender in the credits of this podcast.
I'll probably just play it while we were talking about it.
Sick. But again, like that season, it was fun. And but again, it was just us three, and we had video clients, we had screen printing, we had design work, like everything was like we were doing plenty of stuff to make money, but we had way more time to tie in this stuff.
Right.
But again, it was just,
well, you're videoing real life stuff, like that's this goofy stuff that happens in a shop when you're having a good time.
Yeah.
Especially if you love doing it.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, it's one thing, like we like filming the stuff that's the tutorial stuff, or we're teaching something or whatever. But and there's nothing wrong with any of those things. I think for us it was like trying to find the balance of like, all right, we don't want to just spend every day teaching.
Yep.
Yeah. Like we want to
break it up.
Yeah, we want to, like in Corey's videos, he does a lot of that stuff because I mean he's showcasing what he's doing and kind of showing people how, he's basically being the guy that like some of the guys that he watched, whenever he was starting, he was like, I want to do that for other people, and and so we like doing the design stuff. And then with the screen printing stuff, it was the goal with YouTube and the goal with shooting videos was always like the idea behind it initially was just, let's make it feel like we've opened the doors, and people are able to come and like hang out. And that's
where it's at.
That's what we always wanted it to feel like.
That's what it does. You did a good job of that.
I don't think every video achieves that. I mean, we definitely have some videos now that I look at, I'm like, that sucks. But I'll never delete them because it's just, it's like, but that's where we were at the time, and it's what it was, and I can look back today and cringe, and that's fine. But like, you should. I think that shows growth.
You're growing.
That shows growth, and but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And I had never. This was my first job making YouTube videos. Before that, I made a lot of videos. I did a lot of video work, but learning how to do like things for YouTube and the pace of YouTube is just very different. Yeah, and so it's like that's a whole nother weird.
Plus, seems a little scary. It scares me.
See, you keep talking about these things that scare you, like cameras and YouTube and moving into a retail space. When you're literally like walking towards devices that explode.
Isn't that weird?
Or was a firefighter and walked. Like my dad was a firefighter. And,
oh, nice.
Yeah, and so
you know the life.
Oh, I went to many a fire.
Yes. Yep.
Because down there in South Texas, where there's no like real trees, like we were on the coast, so it was like we'd have brush fires, so the big brush trucks. So I've ridden in plenty of brush trucks going awesome, through like fires. Like when they got low enough that they were like, I'd go, sit in Dad's truck and like watch out the window and watch the trucks going and stuff. But then when it got like low enough, they'd pull me in the truck and I get to run around while they were like finishing up and stuff. I loved it. Cool. Yeah. But like, I just think it's funny that you're talking about these things that scare.
Yeah, it actually is, and like. When I do that stuff, like, they take your pulse. They have to give you your vitals before you go do something.
Yeah.
And mine was always lower when I come back, because it's just like, it feels good, man.
Yeah.
It's almost like, and you keep a piece of everything that you've, made safe, is what it's called.
Yeah.
And so I have a box of all these, because it's 10 years of doing that. But yeah, like going and doing YouTube, like I have hours and hours of YouTube video that I've done, like tutorial stuff, but I don't like being in front of what I mean? It's scary. It really is. And then you got you guys, you probably thought that. And then in the beginning, you're like, you cringe at those videos. Your videos you'd cringe at, I'd be like screaming, yeah, I did it.
Give me that. Yeah.
But it's just a process, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm going to vlog. I've talked to you about this. I'm going to, because of our podcast and stuff, and I'm going to do the whole journey. So when it gets closer to when I actually get the keys to the place, or the talk of it's finished, I'm going to do a journey. I'm going to do some old school stuff, because everybody's video, you pick something out you like.
Yeah, 100%.
And like it all started, the whole thing, I think, pretty sure Caspit. Yeah. Right? He was the first, like pioneer.
Caspit and Ryan Moore.
Yep.
There was, I don't know who was first, but it might have been Caspit. But,
was it? Then you got
pretty close.
Cam.
Yep.
Cam started the vlogging stuff, and all that jazz. And look where we're at now. So
I think it's cool. I encourage lots of people to do it, because at the end of the day, like, if you can afford the time, because it's a time investment.
Time consuming.
There's a big time suck in video editing that people don't realize, and not even like getting like super intense. Like I kind of dive a little deep sometimes, and it's fun to like push yourself when you're learning something new and figure those things out, whatever. And so like I understand that part of it, but like no matter what, is a huge time investment. But I always encourage people to do it, because it's such a cool like thing to be able to look back on and remember, like, dang, that's where I was. I mean, that's what the vlog thing is. It's a journal. And that
never goes away.
Yeah, and that's super cool to have, to be able to look back on and stuff. I mean, like, because we can go back and watch those videos now of like the construction times and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I can't wait for.
And we didn't have like I said, those days were not like, that year was not a great year for all of us, like mentally, emotionally. Like there was high stress environment, so there tended to be a few arguments around.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Or just short outbursts, tempers or whatever. And not that we were ever like screaming or fighting or anything too much.
But your family.
But it's cool to like go back and watch those and be like, it was tough, but that's cool. And it's cool now that we're through it and it's done. And so like I always encourage people to do that. And that doesn't mean you got to go out and buy expensive cameras. Like use whatever you got, man, and film something, record it, just to have it documented. That's why we take photos of our kids, and videos of our kids. Is I want to remember what his voice sounds like when he was 2.
That's exactly right.
My son just turned 9. And me and my wife were watching videos of when he was like 2 and learning how to talk and stuff. And it was like all the little goofy things he would say. And,
and your brain takes you right back.
Exactly. You go right back to that moment.
You relive it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's super powerful.
Yep. That's what I can't wait for. I mean, it's a dream. And the poor guy that has the place, the land he's developing. And I have a big set of vacation set up for the move in, because we got to move the apparel store. We got to move. I got to get Manny out to move my machine, and that's kind of stressful, but it's the outcome of what you're doing.
Yeah, well, the cool thing is about this, man, that like, and I will stress this across the board, is that when you go to auto, nobody really tells you like the stressors, or no one really gives you the information, right? But like, I can't blame them, because it's so stressful. Like for us, we were like, oh, hey, we're gonna document it. We documented some of it, but it was
also during our that was a part where we were like having to like step back and reevaluate a lot of our video, the way that we were doing things. Yeah, because it wasn't working. Yeah, and like, but like, I can't blame people, because it was so stressful to where it's just like, hey, document it, and so you can help others. It's just like, no, it's like, I'm not saying that like, it's just stressful. Yeah. So like, and so now looking back,
or like, and for us, you know, this is why, you know, why I love doing coaching, and I love coaching these shops, and I love connecting with other, you know, homies that have print shops, because I might not be able to give you a video on a YouTube. They're like, hey, go check this out.
Right.
But dude, I got experience, man.
Yep.
And like all these things that you say, man, I'm scared, this and that. Dude, it pumps me up, because I'm like, dude, here you go. Here. This, like just today, you know, us walking around the auto shop, I'm like, he goes, man, I thought I was going to be able to come in and show you something. Now I'm like walking, I'm going to.
I feel like I'm in the Stone Age, man. Like all the process, it's a dream.
Yeah.
And then, man, how you got everything set up is just the shop alone to walk in. It takes you a second, because you're like, dude, this is cool,
dude. And the benefit of that is that I will say this, I went through that hell so that it won't be hell for others. And like that's again, that's why we do YouTube. That's why we do coaching. That's why I partner with shops. That's why I'm on my phone all the time, because I'm talking to homies. I'm also hitting up homies and saying, hey, do you have any advice on here? You know, you know, again, I think if we just keep our heads on straight and just be like, you know what, let's try to get to this next step. Let's partner with people that, you know, like Jared said earlier, is like, get with someone ahead of you and get someone behind you, and literally just try to help each other out, man, because there's plenty of business in this industry. There's plenty of work to go around. And again, man, I care about you as a buddy and as a friend, and I want your business to succeed. And dude, it's like, it's just a little bit of time out of my day to where I get excited about this stuff, because every process and I tell everybody now, like, I feel very confident in our auto shop. It is a well-oiled machine.
It is.
And guess what? It runs without me, and I never thought I'd ever be able to say that.
Yep.
And
I never thought he'd be able to say that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
And it's cool, and it's such an achievement for me personally.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it goes back to my team. It's 100% team effort. I couldn't do it without the team. But it's just every one of those processes and every one of those videos, those are all victories for me. And it's like, I'm living in a very like a victor life right now. Is that like, holy crap. Now it's just like, it's a new season to where it's just like, hey, now I got to figure out other things. Because this is really well oiled. And us being, side by side, man, we're gonna get through, man. It's gonna be a sweet thing. I already told him I am straight up. He gets that space. Jared and I, we're gonna make a trip. We're gonna go down. We'll do a YouTube video, just kind of documenting it and just saying, hey, we're gonna go hang out with Shawn. He's getting his new space.
Oh, man.
Help you move. I'll help you out in any way I can, man. Tell you set up.
Yeah, it's funny. That's actually a series that I've had in mind for a long time.
Yeah.
I want to do this, but I want to do it right. So I'm trying to find, hey, if there's any companies out there that wants to do this right, hit me up. Let's do it. I want to do like a mini documentary series on like small shops.
That's awesome.
Across,
that's a heck of an idea.
I mean, for us, at least starting across the U.S.
Yeah.
If you want to send me somewhere else, let's do it. But like, I haven't found, the right setup to make it, because I can't. That's not something I can accomplish on my own. I might have to have somebody to want to get behind that idea.
Yeah.
But that's because that's my favorite kind of filmmaking, is like documentary style stuff.
Yeah.
So good.
And I would love to do.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, the way you do stuff, man, is just blows my mind. Like I watch it and I'm like, I can do this, and then I go to edit and I'm like, dude, it looks like crap, dude. And it's like,
that's the thing, Jared. I've always heard Jared is this like. That's it. Like, there's one thing to be able to push record. There's one thing to know your camera, right? Your setup.
That's a big part of it.
It's a massive part, right?
Yep.
But guess what? Jared doesn't need any of that to create a really good story.
Story's built in the edit.
Yep.
Yeah. That's where you. It's helpful to kind of have an idea of where you're going beforehand.
Yeah.
But that's the beautiful thing about like documentaries is you don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't know where you're going yet.
Yep.
I mean, so a good example is that video that we filmed about the high school teacher, Rip Harrison,
Yeah.
over in Kansas. We went and filmed that whole thing not knowing what that was going to be at all. We
That's
just wanted
cool.
to like document this trip because we thought it was such a cool thing that this high school teacher was using our YouTube videos to help teach screen printing to his students.
See?
Mind blowing. Like that's
cool,
crazy
right?
cool.
That's
And so
awesome.
we were like, absolutely, we'll come and hang out and tell our story and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we didn't know what that video was going to be. And then we start we start talking about it. We're watching, me and Jonathan like watching through footage, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the story is. That's why there was such a gap between when we went to when it was posted.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know what this story is.
Right.
And then we started thinking about it more and more. And then I was like, hey, I want to set up a chair down here and I need you talking about it.
Yeah.
And then halfway through it, I'm telling him, like, no, say these things and stuff. He's like, you come sit down and say these things.
I was like, you're so good at saying it too. I was like, no, like let's create these shots. And
then that story just fell into place after we did that. Because me and Jonathan sat there and talked. Like each of us have probably an hour, 45 minutes to an hour of us talking about that whole experience. Because we both told it from our perspective, beginning to end.
Right.
And then a whole lot of other things. And so that video chopped up into whatever it was, 10, 15 minutes, something in there.
Yeah.
And it had a pretty decent story, I think, of like, the issue of, art being removed from our educational system.
Yeah.
And that had nothing to, we didn't think of that going to film that video at all. And that's, I love that about like documentary style stuff and that kind of filmmaking thing. So I would love to go into like some of these small shops across the US.
Yeah.
And what kind of stories could come out of those? Because
oh my God,
I'm so sick of watching documentaries of Hollywood actors. Who cares, man? Real people have way better stories than those guys. I mean,
struggles and
man, celebrities dude, I can't. I'm so sick of watching documentaries on people that everybody knows. Screw that.
Yeah.
I want to see the real people, real stories.
All the little things that happen, like like with autos and manuals, or you get a client in and you're scared to go into DTG. And then somebody comes in, one of your people needs it. So you're like, you know what, let's just do it, man. So which is gonna probably be a YouTube from me at some point. Because I'm gonna detonate one of the old DTG machines that I don't like. But like everybody has a craft, and everybody's like, I look at it kind of like this magicians. You're a magician at what you do. You're a magician at what you do. Like you creating content and the way you do and edit stuff is just as fascinating as somebody watching me make explosives out of nothing.
Right.
And it's just to me, it's nothing. To you, it's crazy. But to me, what you're doing is even crazier. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
And that is such a good idea. Like, you can't be saying that stuff because now I'm gonna expect it, and I'm wanting to see
saying it because I want somebody to help us out with it. I need a big company to come in and
sponsor.
Sponsor. Let's make something cool, man.
I'm gonna tell you,
I have a cool idea. Let's do it.
That would probably be the biggest success there is when you look at how many people do this industry, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? I think there's too many talented artists out there that are doing really cool stuff that like their stories. I mean, like social media has helped a lot of people get their name known and stuff, but like if we had something and a way to tell their story deeper in a really engaging way, I think that'd be really rad.
And it's gonna propel them to do more. I mean, just like look at your shop and look at you have such a dynamic. I mean, everybody's got their own specialty.
For
sure. How does that work? Like, how does that even find itself in this the cosmos of everything? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we could go in some crazy details of just how
all of our stories are weaved in real weird. The way that we all connected and stuff. Because like we've all known each other, like not close, but like knew each other from church or music or stuff like that.
Right.
And like so Jordan was he was in a band that I liked. Locally around here, and I was like,
that's cool.
He's a cool dude. I want to hang out with him. I want to be friends with him. And
that's how it starts.
And then I mean, Jonathan was the same thing at church. I knew him from there, and
and he actually got a demo of my band back when
it was like 2006 or 2007 or something when I was living in Oklahoma.
Texas.
I was in Oklahoma at the time.
Oklahoma. And was listening to this demo with his buddies in a truck driving in the car.
And I told him, I was honest with him. I said, and I'll be completely honest with you, it was a burned CD that somebody else burned. We didn't pay for it.
And that is awesome.
And I'm like, That's so awesome.
That
because
is awesome.
We wanted to get the music out there, and like.
Yeah.
And he told me that years after we knew each other and it was established. He worked for my old window company for a season. It's just crazy how,
Burn CD.
it's all been orchestrated. And yeah, man, it's been a pleasure.
Burn CD. Oh, you know how old that is? That's awesome because that's like
Yeah.
the days of Neuro 9 where you would
Yeah.
rip the old. That's
Dude,
funny.
nobody even knows like what like LimeWire and Napster are anymore.
Yep.
Dude, I was stealing so much music. back
Oh,
in the day.
everybody was.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
yeah. I read it in a book somewhere. That's
Yeah.
what they used to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like watching your shop there, man, it's like the process, and the little things you get to learn from what makes your shop easier. Like my wife, she's like we were saying, she's the analytical type, you know? So like, she's like, how do you, because way before I was married to her, like it's all me,
Yeah, for
invoices
sure.
come through me. So like she says, we got to automate that. And like you were saying, people need to do invoices online. And to me, that's scary because I'm like, man, are they going to even want to do that? But then you come up with different things like you were telling me the Google Drive, putting it all in there,
Yeah.
And just this week, I lost a bunch of stuff on this hard drive. So I got to figure out how to extract data off the hard drive. But the shop
I can help you with
software, I'm going to need it.
Yeah.
Shop software stuff, like how
Yep.
you're automated.
Yep.
That's killer by itself, man. Like
Yeah.
to me, it's pretty cool that it can all be done online because I would go from Square to Excel, sometimes an email.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
But it's and then it drives Kelly nuts because she's like,
Yeah, I mean, we go through seasons where we just do what we know to do to get it done and figure it out, and then like what I was telling you is like, man, you hit these, like I'll say this on record, and I am not proud of it. Like how many years I've been doing this thing? 7, 8, I don't know anymore. I forgot, but like legitimately, probably within the last year is the first we've done mock-up approvals. So for 7 years.
see,
Remember what I said about we never thought he'd be able to walk away?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because his phone, where all the approvals were coming through.
Yep.
And
Yep,
he
that's
couldn't
me.
switch that system up.
Yep.
And then we finally did. And that's why he's able to like, okay, I can go work on the business now.
Yep.
And I'm not having to sit inside of it the whole time.
yeah, because
And
now you can do it on iPads and phones.
everybody has access to it at all times.
Yep.
And that's the proof. That's the accountability. That's the standard. And anything, that is outside of that, it's not it. So,
Yep.
But anyways, man, we're going to close up. We're coming up on time, but dude, well, first off, Shawn's going to hang out with us tomorrow, so we still got to hold another day of having fun and
Yes,
just
place to
talking
be.
shop and having a blast. But I want to thank you for being on the podcast, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Hanging out, and we will go and shoot this video once he makes this transition. We'll do a callback to this podcast.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, that'd be
dude,
cool.
We'll,
Yep.
we'll document this, man. This will be a part of the now that's about to happen in your near future, man. Of just you get in a shop and we'll help
That'd
you
be
out,
cool, man.
Get you set up.
We'll detonate that DTG
Dude, let's
machine.
freaking blow something up for sure. Jared,
Yeah.
Listen, dude, I have gotten in a lot of trouble in my life. There's some things I probably shouldn't say on
Yeah.
camera. We have burned a lot of things. I am a pyro.
You'd be a
to
good
the
bomb
core.
tech.
Dude,
Good bomb tech.
dude,
don't say that story. I know what story you're talking about.
we have burned some stuff. I almost burned my friend's house down. I got in a lot of trouble.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
That's
that was an accident.
awesome.
I didn't mean to do that.
Right.
And then
Experimentation.
we had a bunch of guys. It was one of the nights we were filming. We were making a movie. And we were all like filming, hanging out, playing paintball. And we had a travel trailer. And so we were all out in the travel trailer. And I thought it'd be fun to light a ping pong ball on fire. So what I did. So
This is awesome.
So I light the ping pong ball on fire, and I'm like, oh no. What now? So I just chuck it at a buddy, and so we're all just hitting this plastic chemical fire just around at each
It's
other
melting.
inside of a travel trailer. Which those things go up like tinder
Oh, yeah,
boxes.
they do, yeah.
And it like finally like landed in the carpet, and then like I like stepped on it, like just
Oh, man.
super burned into the rug. and I'm in there like with scissors, like trying to cut the rug, you know, like, and I had to use like the fire extinguisher on it, and like
Oh
just
my
like
God.
trying to get all this stuff out, and like ruined my whole night. And my dad ended up finding it because
Dads always find it.
he's also a firefighter.
Yeah, right.
He's
right.
like,
He'll smell it.
he's like, the hell is that? I was like, I don't know what happened there. You know, it's a little punk.
That's
But,
awesome.
yeah, dude. I love fire.
Yeah, you'd be a good bomb tech. That's how it starts, man. I was the
I love
same
fire.
way. Making stuff to blow up.
Yeah.
But heck
Well,
yeah,
Randy,
man.
Thanks so much for coming and hanging
Thanks,
out with
guys.
us.
I
This
appreciate it.
This has been fun.
This is surreal for me.
Dude.
Anytime, bro.
Anytime.
Come and
man.
hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Come up.
I'm going to end up being like the couch. Like, yeah, he's here again. What's up, dude?
Yeah.
All good.
That's me.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. Hopes this, just gives you a little bit of insight of, hey, we love hanging out with people in other shops. We love doing, just hanging out, being bros, and talking shop and trying to help each other get to the next stop.
Hope you're encouraged.
See ya.
Later.
Yo, have you guys heard of that squeegee flip challenge? It's not that hard. Hey, what? That's simple. Dude, I don't see what the big deal is about this whole thing. It's not that challenging.
I think we need to step it up a little bit.
What, like, you want me to like throw it to you?
Yeah, you throw it to me.
Oh, okay, here you go, dog.
Ooh. It's not that hard.
Okay,
But
okay.
I really think we should step it up a little bit.
Whoa. Next freaking level.
Ooh, that worked, Ooh, nice. Nice.
3, 2, 1.
Not bad. You got it?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Cheers. Yo, if you think you can top that, freaking tag us. Make a video, show us what you got with your squeegee flip. We'll see you there.